So, well, I mean, because we're going on a cruise.
That's
in a
right.
week, and so I can't, if I get sick, then I don't know if I'm going to be able to pass whatever tests and barriers they have.
They have
preventing me.
tests and barriers?
Well, they've got like those COVID restriction stuff, but not like nothing super intense. Like you don't have to take any pre-tests or anything, but I guarantee they're going to take your temperature and stuff like that. So
all you got to do is get on the boat. And then you got to die on the boat.
yeah.
So they put you in the boat morgue.
I was actually just talking to Abby's family this weekend, and I said my one goal on this trip is to not die on that boat.
Yeah.
Right? Either by Somalian pirates or by falling into the ocean. I do not want to die out there. I want to make it back home alive.
Our
That's my
listeners
goal.
may not know this, but all cruise ships have morgues.
Yeah.
For this explicit reason.
Mm-hmm.
Josh seems surprised by this. It makes sense because everybody's so old who's on a cruise ship. And you're also not going to be, it's going to be over a week, sometimes a week and a half, longer even if it's a real big cruise.
You got to put those bodies on ice.
Yeah, you can't put your body in the San Juans and fly it back.
Every time some old sap dies on a boat, you can't turn that thing around and
That's
go back
true.
to
That's true.
the port.
How is if everybody? I mean, there's so many people on those boats. Somebody's going to be upset that they couldn't get all the bottomless shrimp they could eat.
It's
Right?
true. In fact, a lot of them will be.
A lot of them will be. A lot of them will be angry about the bottomless shrimp. That's actually the number one thing. So you're going on a cruise. Maybe we can talk about the cruise for I mean 2.5 hours.
That's my my monomaniacal obsession.
Monomaniacal obsession is the cruise. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm curious. I was watching a video the other day actually about stocking a cruise ship for food, right? And they have a chef, multiple restaurants, the hallways that they have in the back so everybody can transport food, elevators, all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And, they have crates and crates and crates and crates and crates and crates of stuff. They're trying to gauge things. It's very nuanced how one has a galley properly set up for a cruise ship. But the thing that is weird to me is okay, are you getting fresher or less fresh seafood eating
it's a good
on
question.
an actual boat?
But having watched several documentaries in the Titus family household, particularly about cruise.
So you guys sit down and you watch things about cruise ships before you go on a cruise ship?
The Smithsonian Channel has a Smithsonian Channel is really weird, by the way. It's got a very specific kind of programming, and it's slow shots
of them hiding the fact that there were giants in America.
Yes, exactly. Yes, them breaking giant skeletons, in slow motion. No,
it's their pots. Yeah,
there's a show called it's not called like Fly Over America or something like that. It's Josh could look it up if he wants to. I mean,
Fly Over America sounds too right wing to be
it's true.
Smithsonian show.
Well, basically all it is just aerial footage from helicopter of America. So it's like today we're going to talk about cities, and then it's like aerial footage of cities. It's like today's episode national parks, and it's just a guy in the background who's like, and this island was best known for the shootout that happened here in 1977. And then you just see and it's nice, it's pretty, it's relaxing, and that's about all it is.
That sounds like fun. That's dude's rock material.
Yeah.
Right there.
Exactly.
That's like you just got back from your Civil War reenactment. You're sitting there cracking a Pabst Blue or a Red Stripe and enjoying it
and watching aerial footage of Civil War battlefields. But
It is called Aerial America.
Aerial America.
Okay, there you go. That's much more clever.
America doing flips, that sort of thing.
Yeah. But they also have shows that are just, today we're just going to go on a cruise and we're going to film it, and then you guys get to see what it's like to be on a cruise. That's just a show that they have there.
Yeah.
So it's like, and they're going into the San Juan. Well, and my favorite thing about these kind of shows is that they have to create drama where there is none, where it's like, and in order to get into this port, they're going to have to miss this coastline by 1 mile. Can they do it? And you're like, I think they're going to be able to do it. I think they've done it almost every time.
Yeah, just a lot of like music with heavy drum noises, and then a close up on the captain as he's looking out the window.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So anyway, from that show, I have found out that what they do is that when you are on any port that you go to, they are also restocking and adding additional food to the ship from that location. So usually you're getting fresh food, fresh seafood and that kind of thing from there. It's
from
not like
Jamaica, Puerto Rico.
Yeah, it's not like they've got
Cuba
nets trolling from behind the ship that they.
No, I didn't assume that was going to be the case, but I was thinking that if you loaded everything up at the front, right,
it would be
Florida,
all just frozen
Washington
fish the whole
State,
time.
it's just frozen fish the whole time. So I was like, well, how's it's going to be basically like me eating at a restaurant in Hillsdale eventually, but
no, apparently it's nicer than that. But
no,
I'm excited.
What are some other cruise facts that you learned
cruise facts
from the Smithsonian cruise thing?
it's usually the two brands of cruise. There are two genres.
Okay.
I would say there's three genres, but the two main genres are Caribbean cruise and snowy place cruise. Those are the two genres of cruise. And snowy places are for those that are more adventurous, generally.
What do you mean more adventurous? Like you get off the boat and you go skiing?
No, you like get off the boat and you like go look at glaciers and stuff up close and that kind of a thing. But I mean,
you're like, wow, ice.
Nice, dude. And I also learned that there are penguins and large glaciers in South America.
That's true.
Towards the far south of South America.
There are penguins. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was crazy to see.
There's penguins like in Oceania.
Yeah.
Running around.
Yeah. But I mean, like, in the habitat that you would imagine there'd be penguins, there's like that kind of.
Well,
weather.
if you go farther south of South America, you start to get to the other pole.
I know, but it's like it's not something you often visualize.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You always think of far north when you think of that kind of Arctic stuff.
Did you guys know the Church of Scientology owns its own cruise ship?
The Church of Scientology owns its own cruise ship. As I said in the 2 episodes ago, I'm not going to comment on anything related to the Church of Scientology
or the fact that they do or do not own a cruise ship.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not our place.
Most people actually, there's a lot of organizations that own a cruise ship. The funny thing is with cruises, like if you sign up for a themed cruise, here's the thing. If someone's trying to sell you a themed cruise, the first thing that you should ask is how much of the boat do we have? Mm-hmm. Because more often than not, a themed cruise is only occupying a part of the cruise ship. Now, like if you're doing something like a rock and roll cruise or something where it's like 3 bands from the 80s or something, that's usually going to be the whole cruise ship. If it's something like
the Impractical Jokers cruise.
The Impractical Jokers cruise,
that's classic cruise.
That is a, you are just with you and the Jokers. That's just you dude. 4. But Impractical Jokers cruises, something like that. Like if it's a big deal cruise, but if it's like, or like if it's something like the Dentist Association of America, there's a good chance you're gonna have the whole damn cruise. Mm-hmm. But it's for like your company or for really specific niche hobby or something. Mm-hmm. There's a good chance you're gonna share it with somebody.
Mm-hmm. And not only are you gonna share it with somebody, you're probably gonna share it with another themed cruise.
That's how it often
So
goes. There's a lot of like really weird stories about there being like a 50. It's like a convention halls because convention centers will do this too sometimes. Where it'll be like a 50-50 cruise where half the cruise is chiropractors and the other half are like steampunk people, and like they'll have cosplay award shows happening on one side of the cruise ship, and on the other side of the cruise ship, they're going to have chiropractic awards. 2 different forms of dressing up. Yes. One is steam related and one is back related.
Yeah.
But
speaking of that, I am tomorrow morning. I am getting a massage.
Really?
Yes, in preparation for the vacation. Right. So this seems counterintuitive.
In order to properly enjoy the vacation.
Yes, because my wife and I, we both are very stressed out people in general, very anxious people.
I'm very anxious as well.
Yeah. So, my back and shoulders are, constantly strained.
They're killing you.
They're killing me, dude. And it usually takes me about 5 days for that to sort of like subside.
Yeah.
So we're just cutting out the middleman, doing that before we go so we can spend the whole time enjoying a stress-free back.
See, this is the difference between, I think, people who are, it's a difference in a place in life because I think folks get to a certain point in life where their vacations become sort of something that is like a chapter of their existence, right? Like I feel like when you're young and adventurous, like we all should be at our age, a vacation is something that you just do, right? Yeah. Or like a trip is something we're just going to a place or something like that. Or we're just going on a cruise or something like, along those lines. But especially for your in-laws, I'm sure this applies especially heavily. It's like, well, no, we've been looking forward to this for a really long time.
It's been 3 years. We've been planning this for 3 full years.
3 years for a cruise ship. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, well, in preparation for our 3-year wait for cruise ship, that means we're going to set aside a lot of time, a lot of resources to prepare properly.
I'm drinking a lot of emergency, to not get sick or anything like that.
You got to get some of the liquid IV and just start hitting that up too.
Exactly. Whatever it takes so that I can enjoy this dang thing because it's been 3 years in the making, right? I wouldn't want to be the guy. Imagine, would my relationship with my in-laws ever recover
I don't think so. And if it does recover, they're still going to be mentioning it a few years from now.
Yes, exactly.
Decades perhaps.
As I roll into, and they say, no, you can't get on the boat because you're sick. And I'm like, no. And I sit on the dock and I scream on my knees looking into the air and wishing God strikes me down. As the boat goes away, and
in that situation, he justly would strike you down.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, that would probably be the greatest sin I've ever committed.
So run me through like what happens on it? Like what's your day? How are you going to try and enjoy?
I mean,
cruise life.
are we gonna just sort of? Oh, well, I will take you all to the Caribbean in this moment. As join me on our cruise on the Holland America cruise. Wake up, order room service. Which is included.
You and everybody else, though.
I know, but they've got the infrastructure to make it happen. Right,
Okay.
That's what's so ingenious about the whole.
So you got your
situation.
huevos rancheros.
Get that going. Roll that up into the bed. Hang out. Drink coffee. Drink tea. Whatever you want to do, and then take a leisurely stroll out onto the deck. Off of your balcony.
You have a balcony.
Got a balcony. Look around. Be like,
wow,
looks pretty cool up there.
Ocean.
Look at ocean. Hello, ocean. It's me.
Maybe
Dylan.
throw up from the seasickness.
Yes, exactly. Which I'm very frightened about, by the way.
Frightened?
I'm very frightened. If I'm here and you're there, then who is? No. So yeah, I mean, that I'm very nervous about that. Yeah, I gotta pack lots of Dramamine. But so anyway, you hang out. Maybe go out and sit on the deck or whatever, and then eat a long lunch, vibe in the sun, maybe go on a walk or two about the deck, go swimming or something, maybe go take in the piano bar or the blues bar, have a very long dinner.
Is this like an 18-year over sort of thing, or is there going to be kids and stuff running around?
We're in the so this is strange. There's a section of the residential area of the cruise.
Yeah.
That is just for adults. So we're in that section, but the entire
what does that
thing,
even? It's not like you're going to get the deck to yourself or anything along those lines.
No, I mean, I
it's
think
just no kids
there's like
running
an
around.
adult deck. I think I'm not entirely certain.
Whoa,
so
what goes on the adult deck?
I mean, I think you could probably figure it out. Do a little simple math. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It'll be pretty chill. I don't imagine it'll be because I'm all about separation of the kiddo groups and the not kiddo groups, personally. That's a you look at me like I'm crazy in that instance.
I'm not looking at like you like you're crazy. I mean, it makes sense. It's just not something that very many people can afford.
Well, I know. And that's just the place in life that I am. I fully accept that. But
if a snotty-nosed brat rounds the corner, you're going to be kicking him off the
backhand across their head.
I drank so much emergency. There's no way that you, Hunter, can ruin my vacation.
No, I'm going to backhand him off the deck. He's going to spin through the air as he falls into the ocean. Yeah. You wanted to know what I'd do.
There's sharks down there.
There's sharks on that boat too, dude. I'm one of them. Knock them into the other.
Can you gamble on a boat?
You can. Yeah, there's a casino on this boat.
Wow.
There's a casino on this boat.
It's like a river cruise.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I think I might gamble a little bit on this boat.
Oh.
Yeah, I might just set aside.
I like the idea of like a 350-pound guy on the hoof who's like sharking a cruise.
No, you
dressed like a parrot head, just like knocking people down for their
nothing but
retire for their social
Bahamas.
security checks.
Yeah, exactly. I would roll up there. I'd probably just play the blackjack tables. That's probably the goal right there. But no, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun, but I don't really know what to expect. I've never been on such a thing. So, hey, keep me in your prayers, dude. Keep me in your prayers because I know it's going to be a big struggle for me on that cruise. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a tough time.
Being on a boat.
Yeah, out in the Caribbean and
in the
stuff
fun
like
in
that.
the sand, the drink in your hand.
I know. It's just, is there a more tortured person than I? Is my question.
Does it have like a slide that goes over the ocean?
I don't know.
Like a Disney cruise?
Yeah. It is.
That's the third type of cruise you forget to mention.
Oh,
you have the northern cruise, you have the southern cruise, and you have the Disney cruise.
Yes, the amusement park on a boat.
Yes,
kind of cruise.
You can say hi to Mickey.
Well, I mean, hey.
Imagine being an adult. There's a different, say what you want about Disney adults, but Disney cruise adults. Imagine that.
There are some in my extended family that are Disney cruise adults.
Why? What is there for you to do?
Listen, I can't really make any statements regarding to how I feel about adults going on Disney cruise boats. So I will not do so.
What do you just go and you hang out with Mickey?
Again, I don't know what was so confusing about me saying it. I can't comment.
Mickey and mimosas.
That does actually sound kind of cringe. I was about to say based, but no, that is cringe. 100%.
You're just gonna go look at some ice carved swans, eat various fruits.
I mean, isn't that just any cruise though?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going back to home for Christmas, so I'm having a very different Christmas experience.
No,
I'm going to be sitting on a plane for probably roughly the same amount of time, though, in preparation. How quickly did it take you to go down to Florida?
It's like 2.5 hours.
Oh,
It's
never
not a
mind.
ton.
I'm going to be in the air for like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So
6 or no,
I'm going to
you're
be in the
not.
air for 9.5 hours.
It's going to be 7 days. I'll be up there.
I'm going to be flying. Yeah. Get to come. What I'm most excited about actually with that whole flying thing is that I'm going to, at the end of it, have yet another story about watching a movie over the shoulders of somebody else
exactly
on the flight.
on
Actually, no, I think I might be flying Alaska, so I don't think that's the case.
Well, shoot. Well, maybe I'll have it. So
instead, I'll just be listening to an audiobook halfway and sleeping.
Mm.
I've actually been sort of harrowing over what I am to do on this flight.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Up at night.
up at
stressed,
night. Well, I
anxious.
haven't been sleeping lately, and let's just say that's the reason. I'm going back and forth. I'm staring at my wall, thinking, do I bring a copious amount of books? Do I try and read through the whole thing? Do I do what I usually do and just stare at the back of the seat while listening to music very loudly? I don't know. Audiobook might be the move this time around.
All I'm going to say is the classics are classics for a reason.
That's true.
So
That's true.
if you're questioning what you're going to do, you can fall back on what you always do. That's just, it's easier that way. You don't even have to think about it. You're like, I know.
Yeah.
I know in my heart of hearts what I will be doing.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, if you're tuning in for the first time, then you should listen to the Andrew Fink episode. But this is Monomaniacs, and on this show, we talk about what it is that we're, what people have been focusing on with laser precision lately in their life, what they're monomaniacal about, what they've been spending the last week thinking about. So, Dylan, what has your monomaniacal obsession?
I already said what it was. I said it was the cruise.
It was the cruise?
It was the cruise.
I thought that was just the opening banter.
No, I said, Josh, back me up on this. In that first minute, I said that's my monomaniacal obsession. I did state that. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, Josh does not remember.
Nobody on this podcast has any memory except for me, dude.
So you didn't come prepared?
I did. I came prepared with that's what I was going
It
to talk
sounds like you
about.
didn't come prepared.
Goodness gracious. All right, what, Mister? What's your monomaniacal
It's not about me
obsession?
right now.
All I'm saying is don't try to throw me under the bus.
I'm going to throw you under the bus. Wait. You're monomaniacal about it, and all you could tell me was like we put some shrimp on the boat in the San Juans, and that there's penguins in the South Pole.
I'm being gaslit right now, dude. Like I'm being hardcore gaslit.
Come on, tell me about what goes on under that thing. How many horsepower is that, or how many knots you travel at?
I mean, there's at least 2 horses pulling that thing. Let me tell you.
Seahorses.
What?
20 knots.
20 knots? You looked it up.
He looked at. Wow, you were looking at cruise facts? Yeah. Well, maybe we should have Josh kick you out. Maybe you should be taking your place.
I'm not here to talk about cruise facts. I'm talking about the anxieties that come with, the stress of, what could happen as I go on this cruise. Will I fall off the boat?
You're not going to fall off the boat.
Will I be eaten by Somalian pirates? They eat people, right?
That's the thing? Don't think that they do.
No?
I would honestly be really, I think that it'd be kind of cool if you guys got captured by Somalian pirates.
Yeah?
Considering that you're on a whole other side of the freaking continent. You know where Somalia is, right?
No, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like,
where's Somalia? Wait, no. Where is Somalia?
It is on the east coast of Africa.
Okay, where in the east coast of Africa?
Is about the midpoint.
Okay, I'll give it to you there.
Okay.
I'll give it to you there.
I know where Somalia
Did you just get that from my clues of saying it's the other side of the continent?
No, never. I'm a smart man. I know my facts. I know my things about Somalia.
That's totally a lie.
You could call me a sommelier even. No, I'm not trying to lie to you. I'm not trying to. If anybody's being gaslit here, it's me. That's all I'm saying. But, every time you hear about a Somalian pirate thing, it happens in the news. It's from either a cargo ship or a cruise. And that's a 50-50 shot right there that I'm a part of at this point. So
it's probably more likely to be a cargo ship.
I
mean, what are they just going to hope that there's somebody? Are they just going to hope there's somebody worth ransoming on a cruise ship?
I mean, those
people's grandkids, don't call them, let alone send them for ransom if they're on a cruise ship.
No, I mean, hey, people are bringing valuables on the cruise ship.
Okay, yeah, like their watches, like their best Tommy Bahamas,
their diamond rings and such. Everybody
so
there
they dress up for the formal night.
10 diamond rings they carry around on jeweled hands.
Oh wow,
yeah. It was on the brochure. They said that you have to have that. So
communist caricature of decadence.
Capitalist. Yeah,
You're just eating shrimp and licking your ringed fingers.
Yes, you're licking the shrimp grease off the diamonds.
Shrimp grease.
You know what I'm talking about. You know shrimp grease.
It's butter usually.
Yeah, you know the shrimp grease. That's what they're calling it these days. You know.
Okay.
But no, yeah. I mean, that's all there really is to it. It's the shining light in the distance of the thing I am working towards to get to by the end of the week. You know, which honestly
means when you get back from it, you're gonna have nothing to look forward to.
Dude, my wife and I have already talked about how darn depressed we are going to be when we arrive back home. It's going to be like, well, and then,
especially since your car is probably going to like barely start. It's going to be negative 12 degrees.
I know. You're just going to roll up into the parking lot and just sort of staring in the middle distance as I freeze and wonder why we even left in the first place.
Yeah.
What was it for, right? I don't know. Maybe that's a very cynical look, but I'm a cynical guy.
I think it's probably accurate though.
It's true. It's true. Oh goodness. How far are we along for the sake of the Patreon? 21 minutes. All right.
We got a lot of time.
Yeah, this is a good enough time as any
okay.
to throw in the Patreon stuff. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't too late, folks out there. Thank you so much for being patrons of our podcast. Those that are not, I will not thank you for being a patron because that would be crazy because you're not one. I want to say thank you,
future patrons.
Yes, each and every one of you. It's like, every kid is a future senator, future scientist, until they waste that potential. Same situation with you, listener, future patron. Unless, of course, you decide to just start smoking marijuana at a young age, hanging out with the wrong people, maybe not joining some sort of sport at your school, and wasting your time, that kind of a thing,
Yeah, we don't know incel is
No.
even capable of
Exactly.
subscribe to our Patreon.
Yeah. So, don't become a metaphorical incel.
Mhm.
Become a patron, What do you get if you're a patron, dude? Well, frick, man. At the $5 tier, you get to listen to our Patreon episode, which is like this, except for wackier. Right? Is that crazy to say?
No.
Is it wacky to say that?
No. Not wacky because it's not on the Patreon.
It's true. At the top tier, you guys get to be thanked on the podcast, and I just want to thank our top tier patrons right now. I'm going to list them out. We got Sammy Roberts, we got Joe Papalardo, and we got Zach and Amber Strehle. Thank you so much. You help make this show possible more than anybody else does. Very much appreciated. And let's roll into what you get at the $10 tier, which is to ask questions of us on the podcast. Okay. We got a lot of questions today because I said that it was an us episode, and so people are, just threw in a 1,000 questions.
We just do this for the rest of the show.
We could. Honestly, let's, why not? First question comes from Samuel Roberts. It is, you talk about manga a lot. I mean, I don't know how true that is.
We don't really talk about that very much.
Is that true, Josh? Just in general about us? Or, I mean, we've been playing video games on the Monomaniacs Discord, which you get an invite to.
Yes.
If you join the Patreon.
Discord.
Yep. And we've been playing games with Sammy on Discord, and we have talked about manga semi-frequently on that.
Yep.
So, I mean, I guess it makes sense. But how did you get into that? You don't give off weeb vibes, ?
I don't know what weeb vibes would be.
Well, I mean, I think it's kind of like the Senate's definition of pornography, when you see it kind of a thing. So
the Supreme Court.
So,
my
apologies. I guess my credentials as American has been.
Your civic credentials are very low.
Yes, exactly. But how about you, dude? I mean, I think that I guess we give off semi vibes because we're not, what you would call traditionally masculine. Is that how I would phrase it?
Well, say that for yourself.
Okay, never mind. Yeah.
I don't know. It was always like sort of a forbidden fruit thing, but as kind of being in nerd circles, doing nerd stuff, you sort of, it's kind of all makes its way into things. The people that you hang around talk about that sort of stuff, and eventually something that you're into. So I remember like reading it at the library and sort of kind of inculcating myself that way. And then as you get older, you sort of just focus on one, decide to give it a read, and then you start to realize it's very easy to read manga on the internet, and you just start reading it. So I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say that there's any sort of direct line. I know that I didn't really read it much in middle school and much of high school because my parents wouldn't let me. So
there you go.
I remember bringing home a manga, which I forget what it was now, but bringing home a manga from the library at school, and my mom being like, "You can't bring that home." And I was like, oh, "All right."
There you go. It's just emboldened you. And
Jokes
made
on
you,
you,
more confident.
Mom. Now I read more than ever.
Yes, and now you are.
Now I'm working my way
addicted.
through One Piece.
Yes.
I'm now nearly 500 chapters in, which is not even halfway.
Hey, love it. Yeah, I mean, like, it's like with anything. You enter into the gateway drug of playing video games at a young age, and then you're
all
out
just
there
falls
watching
apart.
cartoons, and then like, what about these Japanese ones? And you're watching anime, playing games that are traditionally have Japanese kind of themes in it.
Well, so the big thing actually, I think, is that there was this big cultural shift that happened when we were, I don't know, probably sophomores in high school.
Yeah.
When Attack on Titan came out, if you remember this. I think that a lot of people who were in public school when this happened, it all kind of hit everybody the same, where that was, I think, the first time that anime was cool.
Yeah.
Right. And like, it wasn't like the jocks or anything. I mean, now at this point, like when when Silas was in high school, it was the jocks who were into anime. So now it's literally everybody. But when Attack on Titan came out, everybody who was even sort of geeky or nerdy was watching that show. Everybody.
Exactly.
And so something like that happening, it just was the floodgates were kind of open and everybody got introduced to it.
Yeah.
So,
and the next thing you know, you're reading the manga instead of the anime because you want to read ahead, and then
it's also faster and far more enjoyable. I love reading manga. I love manga way more than I like anime.
Yeah, it's
The pacing is way easier.
It's much faster.
I was watching my wife, who's a huge anime head, was watching Demon Slayer because her younger sisters are watching it, which is the new popular shonen with the kids, except for maybe Jujutsu Kaisen. But she was watching it, and I was watching it over her shoulder, and I was like, "This is so boring. It's just so slow." Like somebody narrating their every action is something that's easy to get through when you're reading a manga because you can just flip from panel to panel to panel to panel and just be like, okay, we're still monologuing. I'll get the gist of it, kind of move from there. It's a translation and sometimes a fan translation, so it's like not going to be super accurate. Yeah, I'm just going to make my way through it. But when you're watching it, the person's like, I can't believe that I have to use my hidden ability. And then they talk about using their hidden ability for a solid minute and a half, 2 minutes. And you're like, can you just use your hidden ability?
Yeah.
Already. Yeah.
So I guess we've become, in some ways, purists.
Yeah.
Have this sort of
I think I'm just too
sense
old.
of superiority at this point. Yeah. We're too old for this ish, dude.
Yeah, I think that's honestly it. Like, I don't know, Chainsaw
You don't
Man.
have time for it now.
Yeah. No, because that's not something I just look at my phone and just do.
Yeah.
Instead of just sitting there and watching 20-minute episodes. Like Chainsaw Man, which I read all of, was amazing. Loved the manga. Thought it was amazing. And I read it like after the first episode of the anime came out because I just did it on a whim. And I hadn't watched the anime yet. And then I watched the anime and I was like, this is fun. And it's, there's a lot of entertainment to be had. But I was like, I already seen this and this is way slower. So it's like I'm not caught up in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is, one of my favorite franchises of all time. I haven't watched most of the anime for the most recent season. Yeah. So
either it's a lack of attention span or we just don't have as much time. I think it's a combination of both.
Probably a combination of both. It's also probably because I sub instead of dub. So if it was dubbed, I could probably watch it while I was doing something else. But no, I read the Japanese. Come on now. Who do you think that I am?
All right, we got another question.
I may be a gaijin, but I'm not that bad.
We got another question from Joe Papalardo, which is clothing, ?
Okay.
Over or underrated?
Underrated.
Underrated.
More is better. Joe, I need you to be wearing more clothing. You're embarrassing yourself.
Modest is hottest.
Modest is hottest. That's what they told us.
And I think that you're kind of...
Are you saying that just Joe sent us all these a bunch of questions?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
We got some good ones from...
We got Samuel's got questions. Joe's got questions. The usual crew.
Oh, did Luke and DJ send questions?
No, I haven't got
They're in
anything,
Mexico.
but they're in Mexico though.
While we record this, they're gonna probably be back by the time this comes out. But
but yeah, they're in Mexico, so they haven't sent us anything in a while. But we.
Wait. So Sammy had one question.
No,
and Joe had a million questions.
Sammy's also got a million questions.
Oh, really?
I'm alternating. I got to give good amount of time for each.
Well, if you're doing a Joe question, then pick a good Joe question. Not clothing over underrated.
Oh goodness. Okay. Well. All right. Next question.
Is it a good question? All right. Never mind. Back to Sammy.
When I send in questions, you read them in your normal voices. I never asked for that. Can you do the rest of my questions in a goblin voice from now on? You want to answer this question? The answer to that question is
the answer to that question is no, Joe.
no. Why?
Not unless you solve my riddles 3.
And you know what the first riddle is. You got to send in your answer for that, and then we'll move on to the other riddles.
I forgot about that.
If you can go through all of the riddles 3.
Yeah, if you go back to the Halloween episode and discover the riddles 3 and make them happen, then I'll answer all we'll ask all your questions in goblin voice.
Send us. You got to tag us on Twitter with the first one. If you can do that, then we will go as far as to do those riddles 3. All right, we shifting back over to Samuel. He said, what is your ideal D&D build? Was a question from him.
Ideal D&D build from Samuel. If fighters weren't so boring to play, then I would say a dwarf fighter. I love dwarves and I love fighters. I love martial classes, but they're really bad at making them interesting until you hit like level 10. So probably the alternative would just be playing a cleric. Basically just a fighter with some spells. So, I mean, that's the last thing I remember. I think I played, actually. Oh, actually, I played a dwarf bard, I think, last time I played D&D, which was fun. Yeah.
We don't really play often, you and I.
No, we mostly GM. So I don't really have opportunities. I've actually was thinking the other day about how much fun I would have if I really got a chance to sit down and make a character.
Yeah, same.
Because I've been too focused, I think, on wider stuff, and I haven't really had an opportunity to really like drill a character down, you know. And if I would love to play a game that was just like only like 3 or 4 people, and who were very RP heavy and like really wanted to tell a story. I'd really be interested in that. But yeah, I like to play dwarves a lot, and I think like a dwarf cleric or a dwarf bard. Mostly because you can.
What would
do
you say that
group
would look like out of individuals?
Out of people we know?
Yeah,
I feel like this is going to be a call out for a lot of folks.
I mean, honestly, I feel like
I think you and I, Joel Calvert.
I think Abby does a great job with that.
Yeah, you and I, Joel Calvert, Abby. I don't know. I mean, Josh is in the room, so I kind of feel awkward not including him, but he's shaking his head. You and I, Joel, Abby, and someone to GM, although I don't really know if. Thing is that one of us would probably be the ones who would have to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Who else is going to come out and do that?
You haven't GM'd a game in ages. You should do it.
Come on, don't make me do this.
No, 100%.
I want to be a player.
We're gonna do this in front of the camera right now. You should GM us a game.
Come on, don't do this to me. No, it would be.
You should GM me, Abby, Joel, and get my wife in on it.
Oh, yeah. Wow. We got the spouses playing D&D.
The spouses playing D&D. I think it'd be fun.
Okay. Well, hey. I will make no commitments on air, but I'm interested. That'd be fun. Yeah, it'd be a good thing to do.
People DM him, you know, as a dungeon master.
Yeah, please. We need one. For me, I never think about things from a build perspective. That's too metagamey for me.
Yeah.
But my ideal, just like class to play, would probably be a sorcerer or warlock or cleric.
Yeah.
You
know, they say that if you're just trying to metagame it, you just play a wizard, divination wizard, and just use your what are they called, prognostication rolls or whatever, portent rolls.
Yeah, but I've never been into like looking in and trying to find the ideal.
I'm not even into opening the rule book. I think that's overrated.
Agreed. No, that is. You're asking the wrong people when it comes to ideal builds, because that's just not.
Yeah, I hope that you're not. Yeah, because Sammy's definitely sitting there with a character sheet right now, just being like,
I don't know what to be.
All I know is I'm going to be named Cutthroat Darkblade.
I'm going to be a dark elf rogue. No,
chaotic evil dark elf rogue.
Hell yeah, dude.
Steal from the party.
I was thinking about this the other day about whether or not you're lawful evil and I'm lawful neutral was my thought process.
As far as like our alignment?
Yeah. Out of the two of us. I mean, do you think that you're more
Why am I lawful evil?
I'm just saying comparatively, if you had to put one of us into the lawful evil category,
I would put you at lawful good and then me at lawful neutral.
Yeah.
I don't like what
I've done a lot of lawful evil things in my time. I don't know if I
know.
Can put
So the thing is, being lawful evil though, as your alignment, kind of insinuates that you like sort of have self-aggrand, like you kind of, for lack of a better word, get off on like dominating people. And
well, it's like
them.
lawful evil is like fascism. It's the classic.
What, you saying I'm a fascist? Are you calling me a fascist on live radio?
No, I'm not. I'm not saying you're a fascist. All I'm saying is it's like it's not necessarily just like a self-aggrandizing thing. It's also like, domination of others for an evil purpose, right? And self-benefit and gain. But I wouldn't say...
That's not what fascism means.
I know. No, I'm saying it's not just fascism. It's a different thing as well. But I'm getting like a bunch of calls for some reason. Nobody ever calls me. Just a random Hillsdale number. I don't know what's going on.
It sounds like somebody's trying to party right now.
Dude, hit me up.
You should call. Answer the phone.
No, it's probably just my my barber asking me whether or not I'm available for a haircut.
It's 8:30.
Well, she works late. She does late appointments. So I called her earlier. I said, call me back.
Yeah. Well, I think that everybody, honestly, in our modern day age, is probably like a chaotic neutral.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a classic non-committal.
Yeah.
No true.
I'd say I'm probably a neutral good.
Yeah.
I'd say I'm neutral good.
Neutral good. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm lawful good. Probably not.
Lawful neutral, maybe. Yeah.
Lawful neutral. Yeah.
Yeah.
More than like that.
I don't play with alignment in game.
There you go. Yeah,
I don't think that anybody understands it.
No.
It made sense in the old days, but not so much anymore.
No.
Yeah.
The fact that there are mechanics attached to it involving spells is insane. But that's just my opinion.
Wait, what's the next question?
Oh, we were still rolling down the question. I thought.
Oh, you want to keep talking to me about D&D?
No, I thought I was going to give you an opportunity to.
Was the bit earlier not clear? Are we going to have to explicitly talk about this? I thought that I was using broadcaster shenanigans.
So you don't have a monomaniacal obsession for the episode?
I spend 4 or 5 hours editing this thing. I don't have to show up for this. My monomaniacal obsession is I'm going to have to wake up early tomorrow to fix this up.
Oh, goodness. All right. Okay, here we go. If you could time travel, which of your ancestors would you resent the most?
This is from Joe.
From Joe.
Who would I resent the most?
Yeah, this is just a non sequitur because it's if you could you can resent your ancestors without time traveling. I don't know how time traveling improves or decreases or increases the amount of resentment.
Do I go back in time and then just discover that there's a huge break in my family tree because of infidelity? I would resent that person.
Okay.
Yeah, if that's the case, if I'm a bastard lineage, right?
I mean, what about LaSalle Salee, our mutual ancestor,
who traveled to Mississippi and was killed in a canoe,
due to mutiny from his men?
Yes,
as he was an explorer,
famous French explorer. If you've actually ever had one of those big vocab word collections of colonial America, there's a good chance, or pre-colonial America, there's a good chance that LaSalle Salee was on there. The Salee family was his name is actually, the name is LaSalle. It was anglicized to Salee when, the progeny became American citizens. But, yes, you probably had LaSalle on that list. I don't. Why would I resent him?
I don't know. I mean,
for being a colonizer.
No, I mean he was mutinied against and killed by his men. So maybe did he deserve it?
Well, maybe he was a jerk. I have no I have no resentment against him. But even if he's a royal asshole, I don't have any resentment against him.
There you go.
His progeny is me, so I have no hate for my ancestors. I don't know about you. Or have you abandoned your ancestors?
I don't know enough about my ancestors to hate them or love them, right? They're an ambiguous...
I love them on virtue of them being my ancestors.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Very traditional of you. Very...
I think that they fought and they survived, and I was the result, so I have nothing but respect for them.
Mm-hmm. I have nothing but resentment because I exist because they succeeded.
Okay. So just anti-natalist
I didn't choose to live.
All right.
You forced this upon me.
This anti-natalist BS off of my airwaves right now.
Oh goodness. All right, another question from
actually before you go there, I wanted to give you a chance to talk about your monomaniacal obsession this week.
Why am I getting I am straight up getting gaslit though. That's not crazy of me to say.
No, Josh is with me on this.
No, I'm not.
Josh is not with you here, dude. Oh, goodness. All right. Favorite giant wildcat species?
Giant wildcat species. Lynx don't count. They're too small.
Yeah.
I mean, are they? Well, would you call it a giant wildcat? Because it's bigger than the average cat.
I don't think
It's a giant cat.
No. That would make it no, because we're talking about giant for a wildcat. Giant wildcat,
Okay.
not a giant cat. A giant
Sammy,
wildcat.
clarify, because obviously this is not specific enough of a
Favorite
question.
Giant wildcat. Probably a panther
Yeah.
of some sort, or a Actually, probably the jaguar because they
The
climb.
jagger?
The
The
McJagger.
jaggers.
Yes, the jaguar. I would
Mhm.
say because they climb as much as they do.
You just like climbing?
Oh yeah, I like tree cats.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't like mountain lions because they kill people all the time. And I think that's screwed up.
Yeah. Here on Monomaniacs, we don't like it when things kill people.
Yeah.
Not about
exactly.
that.
Not about that. Not about mountain lions. I like
Yeah.
jaguars. Snow
well,
leopards are cool.
So you say you like tree cats, but all I know is that whenever I'm at your place, you're screaming at your cat for trying to run out and climb trees. So I don't know. I
I'm
think
not
that
screaming at my
this
cat.
is double.
It's because she's
I've
not
been
a
there.
giant wild cat.
It's true. Well, so then you like giant wild cats that are in trees?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because you can't see them.
Because obviously we're being really pedantic and
Yeah.
really specific in this instance.
Exactly.
So, for me,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the tiger. Because of just
Which one?
the Bengal tiger.
Okay.
Just because of how
Where are Bengal tigers from?
I believe India.
Yeah, that's right. I believe. That's your favorite giant wild cat.
Yeah, but I listen. I don't know much about wildcats in general, let alone I don't. It's not like because it's my favorite. I know more about it or anything. It's just I like how they look. I like how they're striped with orange and black and all that. Just some
Okay.
white in there. It's interesting.
You
It's
know, large
fun.
cats don't purr. Lions are a great example of this.
Mhm.
They don't purr. They do this thing. It's called chuffing.
Mm. Mm. I thought that was something that people do when they smoke cigars, but I guess
It's called boofing.
okay.
Yeah, I
Not
can't
to be confused with
I can't.
chiefing, of course.
I can't chuff. I can't chuff. It's a tough noise to make. My wife does a great chuff though. You can chuff.
Under what context? That's kind of a weird.
She gets like minor infections in her ear all the time, and how she clears it out and she chuffs. It's strange.
Yeah, it's surreal.
Yeah.
Goodness. So do you oftentimes are just in your house and then you're like, oh my lord, oh my lands, there is a giant tree cat in my home.
Exactly. Around a corner with a spear,
Mm-hmm.
trying to protect my tribe.
Yeah. Oh goodness.
From the man-eater beast.
All right, here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
We got another question from Joe Papalardo.
Did anybody see that Idris Elba movie where he fought a lion, beast or whatever, man-eater?
Oh yeah, the one that came out recently.
Yeah,
Right? Like he was in a Jeep.
Did
he's
a single human being see that movie?
I can't even imagine anybody did.
Check out the box office returns on that.
Yeah.
All right, what's the next question?
We got Joe Papalardo with some questions.
Yeah.
If
food eat.
do you want the food one? Do you want
There is a food one?
There is a food one. Do you want it?
Sure, go ahead.
Why is my cheese pantry empty?
Why is your cheese pantry entry? If food eat. That's the answer.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, here we got a question that's cohesive from Joe Papalardo, which is, do you send people Christmas cards? Do people still do that? And is there a digital substitute for physical letters that you use instead?
I have only received one Christmas card so far this year.
Shout out to Joel Scholl.
Shout out to Joel Scholl, but no. I mean, I don't have a family yet, other than my wife, of course, and I'm not going to do one with my cat. So
Thank you.
I'm not going to be that guy. And shout out to everybody who is that person. That's weird. I'm not going to be that guy. So since I'm not going to be that guy, I have no intention of doing that. I mean, it's fun and whatnot, and I could say like take a photo from our wedding because we're coming up on our 1-year anniversary and use that or whatever. But I mean, I don't think we've set out all the thank you notes for my wedding yet, let alone Christmas cards. So we're not going to do that.
Hey, that is just a smart call.
Yeah.
Just a smart
Box
call.
office returns on the Idris Elba movie. Beast. I was right.
It was profitable. It had a budget budget of 36 million and it made 59 million.
You got to be kidding.
As in it made, is that gross 59
I
million?
think that was gross.
Okay, so it made $20 million, which, I mean, is pittance.
It's a small movie, though.
It's a small
Yeah.
movie
I mean, probably
with a big
pandemic film.
CGI big cat. Yeah, no, I saw the trailers for that, and I was like, who is this movie for?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
apparently it was for $59 million worth of people.
There you go.
Was that international box office?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, what's domestic?
Domestic was 31 in
Whoa.
the United States and Canada.
Okay, so it was not profitable in America. I imagine it made most of its money in like Egypt and China.
No, not even most, because still majority
yeah,
in that
majority
instance is
majority
North
is
America.
North America, but I feel like the rest would have to probably be.
That doesn't break it down.
Yeah.
It had mixed critical reviews.
Yeah, mixed critical reviews.
Yeah.
That means that
All
it was
right,
bad.
Shad, all right, I want you to pitch to me a movie that is the blandest thing in the world, but it stars
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba or The Rock,
Okay.
or both of them simultaneously. Something like Rampage, something like Beast, something like yes,
Yeah, I know.
Skyscraper.
So this is close to it. It's going to be called Matterhorn,
Mhm.
and it's going to
Oh,
be
there
Idris
you go.
Elba and The Rock. Idris Elba plays a grizzled mountain climber,
Mm.
and The Rock plays a hotshot indoor mountain climber who wants to break some sort of outdoor mountain climbing record.
Mm.
And there's a lot of really bad CGI of them on the mountain. There's some, like, they have a rival who's a British guy, not Idris Elba though, another British guy who's white, Jason Statham. That's it. See, Josh
Yeah,
pointed
yeah,
at me.
yeah.
Jason Statham, and he like is trying to climb the Matterhorn for the wrong reasons.
No. But they're definitely they do in fact pull a gun at some
Yes,
point.
yes,
right?
they
Like,
will
so-
attempt to shoot Idris Elba and The Rock. Him and like a guy who's like vaguely Mongolian is
Mhm.
his sidekick, and he doesn't say anything in the movie. It just has an Uzi.
Yeah.
Like that guy in who's that guy from? Who's that extra actor? He's in Die Hard. The Chinese guy with the Mongolian guy with the really long hair.
Oh yeah, I know.
Who's
Who
always, who like eats the candy bar. Not him. He may have recently died but he's not acting right now. Yeah, he's not acting right now. But somebody like him, where it's like this guy is not going to say anything. It's going to look ethnic.
Yeah.
And he's going to have a gun,
Mhm.
and Jason Statham's going to be like, "You wanted to climb the Matterhorn, huh? Little did you know, the Matterhorn would climb you." I don't know. Like,
I just- well, I imagine some-
How about this? Idris Elba has been trying to prevent. There's like some sort of either priceless relic or drug stash at the top of the Matterhorn. Maybe a plane crashed into it.
No. It's something that is like regionally of the people that have settled that area for
Oh,
generations.
okay.
Right? Or it's
So
some
it's
sort
an
of
indigenous artifact
or temple that is
Yes.
being to be desecrated.
It's going to be desecrated by Jason Statham,
Mhm.
and then The Rock. Okay, then so is The Rock still just trying to break a record?
Either that or he is CIA
Okay.
and he doesn't.
Oh yes.
yeah, he doesn't have any
climb
experience.
mountains.
Yeah,
Yes.
and so he has to do
he's
it.
a fishy out of water.
Yes,
Yes, he's a fish out of water. He's
Yeah.
trying to climb the
and
mountain.
Idris Elba doesn't know what's going on at the start.
Yes.
He knows he's just got to get this guy to the top.
He's
of the
the
Matterhorn.
guide. He's trying to get him to the top of the Matterhorn, and then he's like looking at a carabiner. He's like, "What's this?" Well, The Rock
Yeah.
doesn't know what a carabiner is.
And there's a shot before they're on the mountain where like he's got the bag over his shoulder. He's about to get on the plane or whatever with
Yeah.
Idris Elba, the biplane that they're gonna take to wherever.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Have you ever climbed a mountain before?" And he's like, "No, but I think I got the body for it." And then he like looks at him serious. Idris Elba looks at him serious, and he says, "Takes more than muscles to climb a mountain." And,
exactly.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
the trailer shifts at that moment to the next scene. But
Yeah.
So
And they're just like the shiniest rocks you've ever seen. To see those shiny ass CGI rocks that are trying to climb up the mountain.
yeah.
I think there's probably got to be some sort of like, there has to be an animal inclusion. Well, Matterhorn is where again?
No fucking idea.
I should have known this. Off
Going into
going
I mean, if
into
you're gonna write
Matterhorn,
the
the
script,
movie.
you got to do the research.
Yeah. It's in
It's in the
Africa?
Alps.
Oh, it's in the Alps. Okay,
Ooh,
never
okay, so
mind. So
maybe
there
like,
isn't an indigenous artifact to be had unless it's the ancient Tuscans.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Maybe it's an old Christian monastery.
Oh, okay.
That's up
there you
there.
go. That makes
Right.
sense. That makes sense.
And then also there's mountain goats.
Yeah, so
the elves.
exactly.
Yes.
There would be a mountain goat joke scene
Mm-hmm.
where he would like, The Rock would put his hand and he'd be like, "What did I just put my hand in?"
Yeah.
And it would be like, "It would be mountain goat poop."
Idris Elba would be like,
"It's goat shite." Yeah, and then he would take it, and he'd rub his hands, and he's like, "This beats any chalk you'd ever use." You know? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. This is Matterhorn. Yeah, and then of course, like at the end, they get to the top of the Matterhorn at the same time as Jason Statham after they've like been shot at and all this stuff, and there's like some
There's a
sort
scene
of
where they're climbing up the side and a helicopter is strafing them.
Yeah.
They got to figure out how to hide in the rocks.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, actually, what we're missing is the far more competent female CIA agent
It's true. Yeah.
who needs to be there.
Meets him up there.
Yeah,
right?
played by.
Oh shoot! Someone nobody ever knows. It's a surprise. Who knows who it is?
I like the idea of us like keeping up with this whole trying to make Kristen Wiig an action star. This is like the Wonder Woman 2 thing.
Yeah.
You know, we should do that.
Yeah.
I like the idea of it being
because she
Kristen
was
Wiig.
in the freaking dark. She was in.
She was
the
in
Mummy.
Jungle. She was in Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, but she was in the Mummy as
She
well.
was in the Mummy.
Yes.
A young Kristen Wiig.
No, like the new Mummy with
Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yes. She was one of the.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
All right, so she's the competent CIA agent who's more competent than The Rock.
Yeah, no.
She wasn't in it.
No.
Not in the Mummy.
Yeah, who was in the Tom Cruise Mummy?
Well,
who was the
because
female lead
I
in the Tom
remember
Cruise Mummy?
because I remember the scene where frickin' Russell Crowe turns into Jekyll and Hyde because that pops up on my Facebook feed for no apparent reason about once every month.
Is it like an Indian channel? It's like
Yeah,
top 10 action.
Yeah, top action movie 2022.
Yeah. It's just a clip from
the
the
movie.
movie. Yeah, that's just such insane Facebook post.
Yeah.
Some other Annabelle Wallace.
Annabelle Wallace. Okay.
I don't know why.
Well, maybe let's give Annabelle Wallace another shot.
Maybe-
with Matterhorn.
Maybe I'm just
Yeah. Maybe she can play the badass crime woman who the arms dealer's girlfriend or whatever.
no.
Jason Statham is.
Crime. She's a part of the bad guy side, but her and The Rock have a past.
There we go.
So she's the sidekick
Except
for
for
Jason
like
Statham.
there's like no like actual stuff except for there's just a lot of ex-girlfriend jokes.
Yes. Yeah.
You
yeah.
know.
What's her problem? Let's just say that I didn't call her back.
Exactly.
Oh,
Boom.
sick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then he's like swinging on a rope or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
100%.
Hell yeah.
I like the idea too of them getting to the top and then there being a scene where like somebody actually does fly a plane or something into the mountain, and then somebody says that's cheating.
Or just it flies it up the mountain even.
Yeah.
That's
cheating.
Yeah, we climbed up this thing. That's
Yeah.
cheating.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
There's a lot of jokes with the goats. Yeah, really bad CGI rocks. CGI goats, of course. I mean, it's like filmed entirely on a soundstage.
Yeah.
And there's like 2 village scenes which were shot like in Morocco, and then the rest of it's filmed in a soundstage in LA.
And there's a scene of The Rock trying the local cuisine at this mountain village.
It's the Alps, so like it can't like it's like
I don't know. Maybe it's
Swiss food,
like goat intestine or something. Like
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
even. It's not even. It's like
maybe they make it up for the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
like
Yeah,
the-
and
yeah.
then you got Idris Elba eating it all like as fast as possible, and being
Yeah.
like, "This is delicious," and then The Rock's like, and he's like spits it into a plant pot or whatever, pours it out and stuff like that. It's beautiful. Eat it.
And
You
then
need it. You
after
gotta
that
keep your
scene-
strength up.
After that scene, right? He spits it. There's like a bunch of music and stuff playing. Maybe it's a trap song of some sort.
Yeah.
Or the YouTube thing cut. It's a
My
trap song.
trap queen.
Yeah, be my trap queen. Just do the Christmas one or whatever. Let's hope it doesn't. Oh, it's back. Back to the DP, Dr. Pepper. But so the music is playing. She's my trap queen, right? Fetty Wap, and then 1738. It cuts to a really, emotional scene where Idris Elba is like looking out over the mountain, and then Kristen Wiig comes up behind him and is like, what are you thinking about? And that's where we reveal like Idris Elba's like backstory.
Yeah.
And in the background, you can still see The Rock like trying to outdrink like a local guy.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And then Idris Elba is like, when I was a kid,
I was abandoned on this mountain.
Yeah.
The goats took me in.
Yeah. My dad, he died trying to climb this mountain. He was killed by somebody. We don't even know who did it.
And then it was Jason Statham the whole time. The third act, we find out.
Or is Jason Statham's dad?
Jason Statham is standing over him. He's got his hands up on the side of the cliff.
Yeah.
And Jason Statham's kicking at him. You know, that scene from Grand Budapest Hotel. You know, he's stomping on the ledge, and then he's like, I'll kill you right here, like I killed your father. And then The Rock, of course, like comes in and saves him.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it's great. It's perfect. It's fun for the whole family.
Yeah.
It's got jokes. It's got action. I mean, what more could you want out of a film?
And it'll make like $30 million.
Hollywood, give us a call. If a movie comes out called Matterhorn that has that,
There might actually be a movie called Matterhorn.
There is, but
There
it's
is.
not about the mountain. It's a different thing.
Okay, it's about a thing that's not the mountain. No, this is the ascent of the Matterhorn.
Mhm.
Maybe we just call it Ascent or something. Matterhorn.
There's already a movie called Ascent.
Matterhorn, the Ascent.
There you go.
There we go.
Well,
This summer.
could you do?
She's my drag queen. Wake up in the morning feeling like
Shot of mountain helicopter coming by.
Yeah.
And then
No, honestly, what it would be is one thing that we got to decide on before we move on. Actually, is what song from the 80s or 90s has been remixed into a minor key and slowed down drastically. That would be used in the trailer.
I think that's a little too I don't know, low key. For what this movie is.
No. Every movie does this. I saw a movie the other day. It was for Rampage. It was freaking bullets with butterfly wings. I think I might be wrong here. I think it was
which
bullet
makes
with
sense.
butterfly wings.
Yeah.
The spot on my ring. So I'm trying to think if there's like a good analog.
Let me think.
I actually know what it is.
What?
Marvin Gaye.
Marvin Gaye is what you're saying? Ain't no mountain.
High enough.
Oh, that's not Marvin Gaye.
It's not?
No,
No.
Who is that?
I forget. It's
Yeah.
it's like a big band of some sort.
It is Marvin.
Oh, it's Marvin Gaye. My bad. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no river wide enough. Okay, that might work. That might
Minor key.
in minor key. Yeah.
I think it works.
And the only line that you would actually hear definitively would be the "Ain't no mountain high enough" one.
Yeah,
everything else would have like
just be the
instrumental. Yeah.
I was thinking that it would, like we can't do this now because of, political reasons. But can we get much higher? So high. One Piece is real.
One Piece is real. All right, we're over an hour at this point, right?
You are just hitting it.
Just hitting an hour.
Okay.
Dylan's like, we were just riffing on Matterhorn.
I was nervous. I thought we would really because we could have gone on for much.
We could have gone on much longer for Matterhorn. If you want to hear more Matterhorn content, check it out on the Patreon.
Yeah,
I kind of wish we started out with Matterhorn. That was a lot of fun.
That was great. Yeah, I wish we would have just kept going on.
We could have kept going on with Matterhorn, but. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for all of our Patreon supporters. If you want to hear more, hop on the Patreon and give it a listen. $5 a month, $1 for early episodes, $5 for early, $10 for asking a question, and get thanked on the episode if you get into the extremely cool tier for extremely cool people.
Dudes and dudettes.
Check out next week. We got a Christmas special coming up. I don't know how special it's going to be. We still haven't figured that out, but it's going to be Christmas related. So we at least got that going on.
If
there might
anything-
be a certain fat man who isn't me who's going to be on the show.
It'll be me. I'll gain 20 pounds
There we go.
for this episode.
So just hold on for a little while. We're going to get some special content for Christmas. So anyway, thank you so much for the support. Merry Christmas. Peace.